What's up, everyone? It's Thursday, October 17th, and we are live at 5 here at Broadway.com. I'm Paul Wontorek.
I'm Beth Stevens.
And we're joined by Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
And we have an amazing star here today.
We do.
From Broadway's Betrayal, Charlie Cox is here.
Yay!
So good.
So
I've
good.
loved him in so many movies and TV, and not just
Plus,
back on
Betrayal
stage.
is amazing.
Oh, yeah,
It's
Betrayal.
breathtaking.
But also, before we go, Little Shop of Horrors is opening tonight.
And?
Off Broadway. And The Sound Inside, a fantastic new play by Adam Rapp, is opening on Broadway.
Mary Louise Parker in her first of 2 Broadway shows she's doing this season.
Right. How I Learned to Drive in the spring.
That's right.
Yeah, double Tony chances.
Sure. That's Mary Louise Parker. She always has a Tony chance.
We're going to get to Charlie Cox, but first, today's top 5.
Alexa, play Best Day Ever.
Okay.
That's it.
You're very excited.
I'm
I know
so
you're
excited.
very
I'm excited,
excited.
too.
We're all excited
Hey,
because
excited.
we did not know this was happening.
Right, it's a surprise.
But SpongeBob, the musical, is going to be filmed and then shown on Nickelodeon. That's exciting. With the original stars.
Right. And so they haven't been doing it for over a year.
They haven't been doing it since September 16th, 2018.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But there is a national tour currently playing,
Right.
not with the original Broadway
Right,
stars.
right.
And so they're going to film it in front of a live theater audience.
Can we go?
I believe it's being done in London.
Is
but
that, is,
there
is
are
that
tickets.
confirmed? Why can't we go to London?
We can.
Okay, we're
we
going.
can just buy tickets, and there you
Are
go.
they looking for younger audience members?
How dare you? So they're calling it the SpongeBob
Maybe I have a
musical.
kid I can borrow? Oh, you have kids. You can bring your
Wow.
kids.
Wow.
We'll all go to London.
Great.
They're filming it in December. I'm
Okay.
available. So they're filming it in
Sure.
December.
Yeah.
The SpongeBob musical, live on stage, ! Ethan Slater,
Good.
Gavin Lee, Danny Skinner, Brian Ray Norris, Wesley Taylor, Christina Sajou.
So it'll be on Nickelodeon.
It will be on
Eventually.
Nickelodeon. We don't know the date, but
Okay.
that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And the Disney magic just keeps getting even more exciting.
Hey, Beth, did you know it's Disney's 25th anniversary? Disney on Broadway.
Someone told me this once. Yes, I've
We've
heard
been
this.
doing a lot about this. And so they're doing this special night on November 4th at the New Amsterdam Theater at 8 p.m. They're doing, for BC EFA, Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. Is it actually called, oh, that's right, it is. The concert is called
I'm ready.
Celebrating 25 Magical Years of Disney on Broadway. It
Love
just kind of lays it out. So a lot of
Gets right
amazing
to it.
people are going to take part in this, and now they've added even more. It seems like we're just going to keep hearing more people. So now we have James Monroe Iglehart, Carrie Butler, Andrew Barth Feldman, Broadway.com vlogger, Christian Borle, Gavin Creel, Bradley Gibson, Norm Lewis, Adam Pascal, Sherry Anna Scott, and Cindy Winters, as well as the Broadway Inspirational Voices. Tony winners.
There are a lot
The
of fancy
Broadway
people.
Inspirational Voices.
Yes, they are.
There's going to be songs from all of the Disney musicals you love. So that's November 4th, and it's for a great cause. So why don't you check it out?
And some Broadway divas have signed up for this upcoming concert.
So there's an upcoming concert on Sunday at 7 o'clock at Joe's Pub. It's called Living for Today, Put on a Happy Face. Here's the important part. You always want to take your chance to see Alice Ripley live in person, correct?
Take a chance.
Take a chance. You always want to do
It's
it
always
if
gonna
you
be good.
can. This is a 12th annual concert. Alice Ripley will be there. Emmy nominee Titus Burgess will be there. Paige Davis, Eric Anderson, Bonnie Milligan, Nick Rouleau, Taylor Armand Jones, who will be here tomorrow. So many wonderful names. It is a benefit for Galana's Fund,
Right.
which serves as a platform which is, someone's doing this again, which provides funding for educational programming. And it is directed by my friend David Alpert, who is a Ginger director, friend of Adina, and assistant director on If Then.
Cool.
Cool.
There we go. And this star is all grown up.
So NYU is right in the heart of Manhattan.
Really?
And they do big musicals. I've been
do.
to their musicals.
Student
I saw Catch Me If
musicals.
You Can there. Yeah, student musicals. NYU
We
students.
saw
They're very
Grand
talented. They end up
Hotel.
on Broadway. I saw Catch Me If You Can, and then I
Grand
saw
Hotel.
what?
We saw Grand
Hotel, and then I saw
Hairspray.
Hairspray, and then someone really special was in the Hairspray cast. I'm not going to say it out loud.
Okay.
Somebody we now work with. Anyway, now they're doing Legally Blonde. Everyone wants to see Legally Blonde. They're doing it at the Skirball Center, and we just found out that Emerson Steel is in it.
Broadway alum.
Yeah, so Emerson Steel was in Violet with Sutton Foster. Remember, she played young Violet. And now she's playing Vivian,
And she's a sophomore.
the sassy, uptight girlfriend of Warner. That's good. I
I like
it.
when you did that.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's directed by Michaela Brinsley, and it's November 1st to the 3rd. And, you're in Manhattan, and let's shout out the stars. Julia Marolda, hope I said it right, is Elle Woods. Nicholas Salem is Emmett. Naima Alakam is Paulette, very important role. Stevie LaWarn is Warner. Stevie LaWarn plays Warner. Interesting. Vivian Helvagen is Brooke, and Jack Siebert is Professor Callahan. I should have practiced those names. Anyway, if you want to see Legally Blonde and you're waiting for it to come back to Broadway, you can go see it at NYU, and Emerson Steele's in it.
And now a bunch of people who are out on national tours won't be able to throw away their shot.
Lovely.
Look at what you did.
You love talking about shots. I know you do. The Actors Fund, which is a great organization, is teaming up with the John Gore organization, which is the parent company of Broadway.com.
Right.
And by the way, happy birthday, John Gore.
It's today?
What's today?
Happy birthday, John Gore.
They have partnered to form the Actors Fund flu shot program for touring companies. So, if you're on tour and you're part of a company, you can get a flu shot even if you, if patients are insured, the flu shots are billed to the insurer. For anyone uninsured, the John Gore organization will cover the cost of that vaccine. There are trained pharmacists from CVS Pharmacy who will do it. It's not going to be done by random people.
Get your flu shot.
Just get your flu shot.
Especially if you're on the road. You're like packing and unpacking, going to different hotel rooms, different sheets.
Yeah.
Get your flu shot.
You're grossing me out.
Gross.
It started September 19th. They've given over 300 flu shots. Ouch. And we'll provide hundreds more by mid-December. Do it early. Do it now.
So we have all kinds of coverage. The Lightning Thief opened last night. Red Carpet Challenge, some portrait booth photos that Amelia Kuzer took. Amelia Madrid. And Jawan Jackson, our vlogger. It's his
Final vlog.
Final vlog.
Final vlog
And Ain't Too
episode
Proud.
for Ain't Too Proud.
So it's the last time we're going to say all about the bass. About the bass. That's the
I
title.
doubt it will ever be the last time you say that, but watch to the end because the Ain't Too Proud guys, I'm going to spoil it for you, the Ain't Too Proud guys have dinner with Otis Williams.
Oh,
who
that's
is
cool.
The he's the last living
yeah.
member of the original Temptations.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to check it out.
Check it out.
But first, I'm going to interview Charlie Cox. Hey, Caitlin, why don't you tell everyone about today's guest?
Gladly. Yes, we got Charlie Cox here with us in the studio today. He is currently in Betrayal on the Broadway. He plays Jerry. He was with the show when it was in London, and then they all transferred over here. His other stage credits include Incognito, The Prince of Hamburg, and more. You may know him from some of his several on-screen gigs, which include Daredevil, The Defenders, Boardwalk Empire, and so much more. He's not on social media, but be sure to follow the show at Betrayal B-Way to stay up to date on what him and all of his fellow castmates are doing during their last few weeks here on Broadway. Everyone, please leave all of your questions in the comments below, and please welcome Charlie and Paul.
Thank you, Caitlin. Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Very cool.
How is life on the Broadway?
Yes, it's very, very exciting. It's still pretty kind of overwhelming, actually. I'm still pinching myself, but
You're kind of halfway through your run.
yes, but I just found that out.
Okay.
It feels like it's been a decade and a weekend, you know what I mean? It kind of has gone very quickly and very slowly at the same time.
Betrayal has really sort of taken over your whole year.
Yeah.
You did it in London the first half of the year.
That's right. So I got, I was asked to do it the first week of January.
Right.
Started rehearsals February in London, went up in March in London, and then was never supposed to transfer. That was never part of the plan, and so it was a very last minute.
But you created a sensation, so they had to move it.
yeah, that's partly true.
So you've been living with Pinter the whole year.
Yes.
Who do you want to live with next year?
Oh, wow.
Maybe your family?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, great. My daughter, and my wife. No, actually, I have to say that doing theatre is a wonderful lifestyle for an actor because you get the most days you don't show up and at the theatre until half an hour before, 45 minutes before, 6 o'clock, 6:15. And if you're doing a 90-minute no interval like we are, then I'm sometimes home by 9:15, 9:30.
By the way, thank you for the no interval. I love a no interval. It's my favorite.
Yeah, although if you come and see this show, one of the things you'll notice is that we do drink a huge amount of fluids. And
so you're running to the bathroom at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or do they install you?
There's
with
one
sort of
scene.
rigging.
So the one of the things that the wonderful Jamie Lloyd, our director, did with this production is he's and I think I'm right in saying it's the first time it's been done with this show is we've kept all three actors stay on the stage the entire time. No one leaves.
Yeah.
My character is not in. There's one scene he's not in, which is right smack bang in the middle of the play.
Right.
And I sit down at the front of the stage on that in that scene, and I sit down, and that's the point where I get to gauge how desperately I need to be, and whether I think I can make it till the end or not.
I'm gonna go see it again and watch your face during that part.
If you the scene in question is about 15 minutes long, and if you see one of my feet doing that
I love it.
towards the end, then you know I'm in real trouble.
So how are your co-stars?
My co-stars are,
So
now.
who are they? They're fantastic.
So they are the wonderful Zoe Ashton
Yes.
and Tom Hiddleston.
Yes,
And
fantastic.
they are now dear friends of mine. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been doing this all year, and it's such for anyone who's seen the play, it's such or knows the play. It's so intimate. It's so. The subject matter is very delicate, and it's funny, but it's also painful and emotional and all of those things. Thankfully we have a wonderful what is it? Zoe calls it the thruple. She calls us the thruple.
Oh, yeah, the thruple.
The thruple. Yeah.
Thruple on Broadway.
Thruple on Broadway. Yeah. No, we're there. It's
Professional
great,
thruple.
and we get it exactly.
Professional thruple.
We all get on very, very well.
So when you're in an adult, intelligent, sexy play like this, does it make you feel like all those adjectives too? Stylish. It's so like everything about it is just, even the ad campaign, everything about it is just so,
Yeah, no, my life does not feel that.
like
My life
isn't
does
that?
not feel that stylish, and my all the parenting things that come
Right.
along with it.
Right.
I don't feel like I'm walking in out of pubs in London and having affairs.
Not those days anymore.
Yeah, not anymore anyway.
So your daughter's actually named Elsie, right? No, they named a whole festival after her. Elsie
Oh,
Fest.
that's right.
Have you heard
Yes,
of
I
Elsie
did.
Fest?
I just
Yeah.
found out about that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I know. I was kind of. It's cool, but also I thought it was a lesser known name.
It is.
That's a whole
It is.
festival.
Yeah.
But I'm 100% going to take her and be like, this is for you.
Yeah, totally.
Happy birthday. When is it?
And if she becomes a singer, she has to be a headliner. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll get to that.
If
Plenty of time.
If she has my voice, she will not.
So no musicals for you?
Sadly not. And I love musicals. I would love to do a
You're an
musical.
audience member for
I
musicals.
am tone deaf.
Oh,
When I went to
interesting.
drama school, on the first day we were told that we had to kind of describe our singing background, and I said I'm tone deaf, and the teacher was like, the music teacher said, well, most people think that, and they're not. And then I sang, and she's like, you might be.
What did you sing? Do you remember? What would
Mac
you-
the Knife.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, it's
Apparently
the
not.
closest I could get to, getting through the auditions.
Okay,
phase.
so you're a fan of musicals. You grew up in England,
Mm-hmm.
of course, and it sounds like you weren't initially into acting, and it sort of you got a movie when you were really young, right? When you were like a teenager.
Yeah, so I acted at school
Okay.
and really enjoyed it. Didn't think of it really as a career or a profession. I didn't know any actors. I didn't.
Right. What'd your parents do?
My father was a publisher. My dad, my mum worked for my dad. I was doing a play in my final year, and someone came to see the play and suggested afterwards that I might want to try out for drama school. And it was the first time that I'd even thought about it.
Wow.
And it ruined my love of acting. I'm joking. Yeah. From then onwards, it's been the graphs. But no, and then but I got my first film role before I even went to drama school.
Wow.
Right? Just by chance, met someone who knew someone who knew someone who was looking for someone. And
Wow.
Really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever people say to me, can you give me any advice? I always say the same thing, which is get really lucky.
Get lucky.
Get really lucky. Not very helpful, but very true.
That's not available in a bottle, but
Sadly not.
We'll
No.
see.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've had an amazing career, and actually, you met Jamie Lloyd a while back, right? You're
Yes.
director of Betrayal, who is so talented. By the way, did you see his production of Assassins in London?
No, I did not. No.
Blew my mind.
Really?
Blew my
Wow.
mind. Blew my mind.
Yeah, so we did. So I worked on Jamie's first West End production,
Wow.
which was another Harold Pinter play
Yeah.
with Harold right before he died.
Oh wow.
Right, a year before he died. So we did The Lover in the Collection together.
So he was around.
he was around, he was
What does
in-
that mean? He worked on it. Like.
Well, he kind of would come in and watch runs and and give notes, and I'm sure he kind of was very communicative with Jamie. He took us out to dinner a few times. I got a couple of great Harold Pinter stories, which I
that's
still dine out
amazing.
on. You know.
I love that.
Yeah, it was great, wonderful. So to be, and because this production, I don't know if you know this, but it's the 10-year anniversary of his death, Harold's death,
Right.
and so they did a whole run of some of mostly his lesser known plays in London.
Right.
Some radio plays as well they staged, and Jamie oversaw the whole season, directed many of them.
Okay.
And Betrayal was the finale.
Right.
And so to have had that experience with him 11 years ago, my West End debut, and then to come back in the same theatre, which is now the Harold Pinter Theatre, and
Right.
wasn't then, it was the Comedy
Right.
Theatre. So yes, it feels like I love it full circle.
You know, I've seen Betrayal a bunch of times because it keeps coming back to Broadway, which is so interesting. What about this play do you think actors love doing, and why do you think it's sort of like this play that resonates with audiences so frequently?
God, a really good question. I mean, I think the writing is just absolutely superb. We've done 180 performances now this year.
Does it keep revealing itself?
And it's still, you know, the other 2 days ago, me and Tom were talking about something after the play, and I was like, both were like, oh gosh, of course, yeah, I didn't think of that. So it's still revealing itself. You know, the thing I love about it is because you know, it's the story is, of course, there's a love triangle. There's three relationships at its core. There's a marriage, there's a friendship, and there's an affair. And the play reveals itself in reverse chronology. So the first scene is between the lover and the Jerry, my character Jerry, and Emma, which is the affair.
Right.
2 years after the affair is over.
Right. And
the last scene of the play, which is the first chronologically, is the night the affair kind of sparks.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, there's something about revealing it backwards, knowing the ultimate demise that is coming from that, and seeing how it is revealed in reverse order. I think there's a very touching, sad poignancy about it, you know. And I think if you know, most people have loved and lost, and we're probably all familiar with the idea of when a love affair, you know, regardless of whether it's a betrayal or not, just a love affair in general, when it doesn't work out, there's always, you know, we've all at times probably thought back and thought, I wonder if something had been different, would it have turned out differently? If I'd have done this or said that, if she, you know, if we'd have managed to get through that period, maybe there would have been a happily ever after. And I think so. Those feelings are very powerful, I think, and that's one of the things that Harold does so wonderfully with this.
Well, one thing I love is that I love when actors have they're known for very pop culture things, like you are for like Daredevil, right? Which is a fantastic show on Netflix, Marvel character. When they reveal themselves to actually be these, you know, the great theater actors, which maybe the fans of Daredevil don't realize when they go see it. And then I love the idea, or Tom Hiddleston, obviously, he's in Marvel movies. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. But I love that you're introducing them, you know, these fans of these things.
I
to
do
Pinter.
too.
Are really fun. Are you encountering that at the
Yes,
store? And are you
absolutely.
seeing fans of the Marvel franchise?
I do too, and I'm so encouraged by the response that at least I've become privy to, which is that a lot of people have come, and a lot of people have booked tickets. You know, a lot of people have told me they've booked tickets with absolutely no knowledge about the play. Sure. But because Tom or myself and Zoe or all three of us or whatever it is are in it, and a lot of them, I think, have been very surprised by how moved they were by it. I'm sure we've had a few people who are like, there was one lady who came up to me after the play. I think she was joking, but she didn't have an air of humor about what she said, so I'm not quite sure. But she said at the end of the play, so I just want to make sure I understand. So Daredevil is sleeping with Loki's wife. And I was like, I mean, sure, if that works for you, then yeah, why not?
Just
amazing.
summarize the plot in one line.
You know,
That's amazing.
There you go. So that's the tagline for our play, by the way.
It's amazing. Just
So
put that in the
good.
ads. Hey, Caitlin, what are the
Yes.
people online saying?
Yes, amazing. So Alexandra says, "Hi Charlie, I saw the show in London and all three of you were so brilliant. What made you want to sink your teeth into this role initially?"
Well, you know, I was dying to work with Jamie again. I'd had such a wonderful experience with him a decade ago. I'm always, you know, when you're lucky enough to be someone who is working in film and television as well, it's very hard to find those windows. And you know, when I was doing Daredevil, a Broadway run was impossible because it was longer than my hiatus was each year.
Right.
So I managed to do something off Broadway very briefly, but
shorter run.
yes. So whenever there's an opportunity to do something in the West End or Broadway, I'm always kind of like looking out for it, asking questions, seeing if there's something. And for it to be, you know, arguably Harold Pinter's masterpiece, to finalize the season in commemoration of the 10 years from his death, it was just like it felt like a lovely, lovely opportunity. The writing is so wonderful. I'm such a big fan of Tom and Zowie's. There was actually, it was one of those kind of no-brainers, really. It just, apparently what had happened as well was that they'd approached my agents about it. And at the time I was still in contract for Daredevil.
Right.
And so that we had to turn it down. I didn't know this.
Right.
And then luckily by chance, when they still hadn't found someone when the show got cancelled. And my agent was very quick to ring up and say, he's available.
So you were like, if I can't do Three Penny Opera,
yeah.
I'll do Pinter's masterpiece.
Yes, totally. So Aaron asks, how do you grapple with some of the decisions that your character makes in the show?
Oh, I wish you could tell me which ones in particular he's thinking of. You know, that's a really good question. Jerry is tricky because he has an affair with his best friend's wife, and that's pretty unforgivable. The thing I love about this challenge of playing this part is that I do believe that what Harold has written is three very likable and also at times unlikable people, very human characters, who all of them have their flaws. And I think it's important that you don't vilify any one of them. And if the relationships weren't quite right, if the dynamics between the actors weren't quite right, it would be very easy to see a production where you've got one character who seems to be, you know, without fault, and one or two who seem to be the catalyst and the villains. What I hope we do with our production, one of the things I try to certainly do with Jerry, is to, despite what his actions are, to really see that underneath it all, he loves both Emma and Jerry very, very much. And Harold does something very, very brilliant, which is in the final scene when the affair begins, he writes Jerry drunk. And I've always believed that had he not had that much to drink on that evening, it probably never would have happened. But and that's what I mean by he's not the guy who would do it sober. Not excusing it. I'm just saying he's very, very much overwhelmed with his feelings for his best friend's wife. He drinks too much and he kisses her, and then it's a train after that.
You find a little bit of comfort in that. It sort of helps you get through the rest of the. Really interesting, actually.
Yes.
So I think I think that the way I handle the things that Jerry does is by forgiving him a little bit and kind of understanding that people are, we're all flawed, we all make mistakes, and ultimately, I think when we meet Jerry at the beginning of the play, which is the end of the story, we meet a man who's been humbled by life. He's lost a great love and probably two great loves.
Yeah, totally.
Fantastic.
We can do one more question, and Mike wants to know, although you've done a lot of stage and theater before, what has surprised you the most about being on Broadway in this whole Broadway world?
It's not a particularly good answer. What I've been found fascinating is the play that the theatre that we were in London is very narrow, and I think my playhouses in London typically are more narrow. Right. They're higher and narrow. Right. Playhouses here are much wider. And as a result, it kind of feels like we're doing the widescreen version of the play. I've really enjoyed that here. I've really enjoyed having it's not as deep, it bizarrely feels, it's a very cavernous space. It's huge, the theatre. I can see more faces. And I feel like there's less depth to it, so that everyone feels slightly more involved. In London, you absolutely get you're very aware of much cheaper seats, to put it one way. Whereas here it doesn't feel quite like that. It doesn't feel like there is a bad seat in the house. Really. I think that's so I don't know.
It's interesting.
Why I feel like that's affected the show, but I enjoy that.
We always like to ask people when they arrive to Broadway, how does it feel to be on Broadway?
Yeah.
But the truth is, you do theater in different places, and I'm sure different audiences, right? That's so interesting that you have the perspective of the. It's widescreen.
I mean, the main thing, of course, is Broadway.
Yeah, you're in Times Square. You're in the middle of it
Broadway.
all.
I mean, me, Tom, and Zowie, literally each night will walk on and be like, "Broadway, baby." It's because it's all of our debuts, as well as the amazing Annie Arnold, who plays the waiter.
Yeah.
So he's come with us from London as well, and does a spectacular job. So we feel like I don't know. We feel like we've kind of we've tricked our way in.
No, you haven't. You got it with talent. I hope you'll be back.
Yes.
I hope you'll be back on Broadway.
Yes.
Me too.
This is not a one-time thing.
I hope I'm invited back.
Go see Betrayal. It's at the Jacobs Theater through December 8th. Zawe Ashton, Tom Hiddleston, and this guy, Charlie Cox, are all fantastic. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you so much.
by.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single weekday here on Facebook. You can listen to us where we get your podcast by searching for #live@5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We talk to Taylor Amon Jones from Scotland, PA.